I decided instead of making cookies today, we're going to make some feather fluff rolls. They're made with all-purpose flour, and we're going to get started. Right here I have a cup of milk, and I'm going to scald it. Scalding is where you bring the milk to just before a boil. I've got it at medium heat because I don't want to burn it, but we're going to heat up the milk, and it'll start to get like a skin on the top. That's just before the boiling point. That's where we want it to get. Okay, now you can see around the edges that it's getting a little bubbly. That's just before it's going to boil. So it should be hot enough now for us to use. So we have our dough hooks into our beaters so that today, instead of our regular whisks. And what we're going to do is pour our milk in. And to that, I'm going to add 2/3 of a cup of softened butter. I'm going to get that mixing. And now I'm adding 2/3 of a cup of sugar. And we're going to add 1½ teaspoons of salt. I happen to have a nice measurer that's exactly 1½ teaspoons. And this is, let me turn this off for a second. This is riced mashed potatoes. I baked them, or I boiled them in water, strained them, and I put them through what's called a Foley food mill. It's a ricer, and so we have a rice texture to our potatoes. These are going to be potato rolls. So we're going to put that in our mixture. And now we're going to have to go to the microwave for a minute because we need to get some water lukewarm so we can dissolve our yeast. So we're going to start with 1/2 cup of water, and we're going to put it in the microwave for 30 seconds. I'm probably going to take it out before the 30 seconds because we don't want it too hot. We want it just lukewarm. I'm stopping it at 16 seconds, and it's just right. Going to add to it a packet of yeast. This is regular active dry yeast. I don't like the quick acting. I use just the regular. And we're going to add a teaspoon of sugar. This gets the yeast going. We're going to stir that up. So what we have here is 1/2 cup of lukewarm water, a packet of yeast, and 1 teaspoon of sugar. That's to get the yeast going. And we're going to add that to our mixture. Hopefully you have a mixer that allows you to move the bowl either way. It helps make it incorporate faster into the dough. If you don't have a mixer that does that, it just takes a bit longer for it to incorporate. Don't forget to scrape the sides once in a while to get the flour down, and kind of make it go to the center so that sometimes flour gets stuck to the bottom of your bowl and you want it incorporated too. You don't want lumps of flour in your dough. I'm scraping the sides again because we've got flour on the sides that we want to get incorporated. It's getting thicker. It's not quite pulling away from the edge yet. but it's still sticky. Now you can see how it's pulling away from the edge and the texture isn't quite so sticky. We're going to let this beat for a little bit. If you want, you can hand knead it. Sometimes I enjoy doing that, but I think this time we'll just let the machine do the work for us. I'm getting it on the bottom now to make sure I've got all my dough mixed in. There's a little dry stuff down there I see, so I want to get that incorporated in. Okay, that's looking good. I think I'm going to add just a little bit more flour. I still have about 1/4 cup of flour left. Didn't take the whole 5 3/4 that I needed. Okay, we're going to scrape the sides down real good. So now at this point, you can refrigerate it and leave it in the refrigerator until you want to use it. And you can keep it refrigerated up to 5 days. It's really nice at like Christmas time and Thanksgiving. If you want rolls with your dinner, you can have the dough already made. You just have to let it rise and voila, you put it in the oven and you've got wonderful rolls. Hi, I'm Susan with BakeWithMom.com. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and you can learn to bake something new every Friday. Check out this video here and this one here. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. You know you want to learn how to bake. You want to bake these cookies because they're awesome. You want to bake that bread and this cake, so make sure you subscribe to my channel.